I invited somebody to my church who was blessed to pray for the sick and see mighty miracles. He came. That my church was packed, absolutely packed. He started to preach. After 10 minutes, he calls me up and he says to me, whispers into my ear, he said to me, "Close the service." I said, "I'm not going to close the service. You first have to pray for the sick." That is what we advertised. He said, "Close the service." I said, "I close it on one condition, that you pray for the sick tomorrow morning." He said, "Okay." I was foolish enough, and I closed the service telling the people, "Come tomorrow. The great man of God is going to pray for the sick tomorrow." The next day, I pass the venue. I see people not just inside but outside, twice as many people. I mean, there was no room to move. I drove on to the hotel where he was staying to pick him up. When I arrived there, couldn't believe my eyes. He stood next to his car. And he said, "Brother Bonke, I'm glad I see you. I'm going home." I said, "You can't go home. You can't do that to me. Remember what you promised." He said, "Well, you promised. You have got to pray for the sick now." I said, he said, "The Holy Spirit told me I should go." I said, "That is nonsense. The Holy Spirit will never tell a man of God to run away from a revival meeting." He said, "I'm going anyway. Bye-bye." He left, and I got into my car. I sat behind that steering wheel, and I cried out to God. That was a defining moment in my life. I cried out. I said, "Oh God, I'm not a big-time evangelist. I'm only a missionary.